Hello and welcome to a new episode of Digging Deep, an OKIE811 podcast. I'm your host, Luis, and today I'm with Ruben Mendez, Damage Prevention Manager at Texas811. Thank you, Ruben, for being here with us. Um, Again, appreciate taking the time to sit down and have a good conversation about 811 and bunch of other stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lewis, for the invitation. I'm really happy to be here. I'm really glad that you gave me this opportunity. Really happy to share.
And for those that don't know, we actually met at the FNCA, kind of the last day, right? We were just eating. I think it was a breakfast.
Yeah, we're getting coffee and
Yeah, and then we kind of ran into each other. That
yeah,
was that was kind of amazing. That's one of the beauties of those conferences. I mean, you meet a ton of
absolutely,
people. You kind of expand your network, and you also find out that you're not alone, right? You're trying to spread
definitely.
the message just like anybody else in different ways. So it's great to get that chance, and I'm happy that we can discuss 811 and what you guys do in Texas. So first, Ruben, tell us a little bit about your experience, how you started, and I know we're gonna dive a little more into the depth in regards excavation in terms of trenching, but let's go first with your experience here at Texas A11.
Okay, so I've been with Texas811 since April 28th of this year. So I'm going into what is 6 months, uh,
Mm-hmm.
7 months.
So we're kind of the
This
same.
Yeah, we started. Yeah, I remember, and I think that's how we started talking. That
Yeah.
we were fairly new
New.
to the teams. Yeah, and I agree with you. This events like that gives us opportunities to meet people that we wouldn't have met otherwise, right, in our life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm grateful for that. Um, but I've been with Texas One since April, and I've been in and around the industry for a good number of years. So I teach competent person training for excavations at the summits, at the Texas Summit, the New Mexico Summit, things like that for ACTS, which is the organization that puts together these summits. And I've been doing that since about 2015.
Oh
So
wow.
even though I wasn't part of Texas 811, I was involved with the damage prevention part, never part of the committees like DPC or anything like that. But I've been around the people um, since about that time. So when I got the opportunity to be part of Texas 811, it was it was like coming home because the people that I would work with, that I would see once a year at the summits, I mean, it was like we never stopped talking. Um, and the team that I'm a part of here in Texas 811, the damage prevention managers, is great. I mean, it's a fantastic group of people that make that team, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to be part of the team, right? Why I wanted to be part of them, because they're just to me they're just amazing people.
No, I think I can agree with you in terms of how A11s are, at least here at OK as well. That collaboration is amazing.
Yeah,
For me being in the industry and for me starting just like you 6 months ago, I can't just throw in just a bunch of flowers because
yeah,
it's been
definitely.
really good experience for me to start something new and just kind of like they've been helping me since day one, and I'm happy to hear that as well from you.
Yeah.
So tell us, Ruben, when you start with your outreach, right? And some of the stuff that you do. We are talking earlier before we started the conversation, the actual podcast episode, about you're very involved in teaching excavation safety, right? Just like we do here, but more focused on trenching and also kind of the relation with OSHA and how do you want to keep everything involved when you're doing your presentations and kind of doing that education.
Absolutely. So we do our as damage prevention managers. It's basically the same role as like a liaison or a
Liaison, yeah.
coordinator, right? What do you guys call them in Oklahoma?
Liaison.
Okay, liaisons. I believe Louisiana does the same, but in a bubble, it's the same job, right?
Redemption.
We're the liaison. We're the connection
Representative.
between the,
Yeah.
yeah, we're the connection between the excavator and the owner of the utilities, right?
Yep.
We're that link.
Yep.
So a big part of what I do, what my job is to teach people about 811 process and things like that. And I'm surprised that even people that are part of the industry, right, with excavations and utilities and stuff like that, there's still some people out there that don't know what 811 is.
No, it is impressive. I mean, it's
Yeah,
there's some people that have done their jobs in construction for years, and they still
yeah,
silly things like not knowing the exact colors of the flags.
yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, they're
it
like,
does
what is
happen.
that? Yeah,
Yeah, what is that? Oh, I've seen those flags, but I really don't know what
yeah,
they mean. So,
absolutely. And so in my presentations with my experience, so um, even though I was part of the damage prevention trainings and stuff like that at the summits, my background is in safety management, right, for construction companies, and it's amazing how just to be candor and or just to be honest and excavation when it comes to the totality of a project is this much,
oh wow.
right? Because you're doing a building, you're doing a warehouse, and the excavation part is the first 3 months, 4 months. Your project duration is going to be a year. We'll call it a month. Say 27 months, and the excavation part lasts 3 months or 4 months. So excavations is a lot of times not seen as the danger that it can be, you know. So with that kind of background, with that type of experience, I kind of mix it with the trainings that I provide when I'm doing when we're doing the outreach for even municipalities in Texas. We follow OSHA, federal OSHA, right?
Yeah.
We don't have a state plan like New Mexico, like Oregon, like California. So we follow federal OSHA. So municipal workers don't have to follow OSHA, right?
Oh, they
Um,
don't.
yeah, and if you're in a state that does not have their own state plan, the employee does not follow. Doesn't OSHA does not apply to them. Basically, they can still get hurt and everything, but they won't get cited by OSHA. And a lot of times they because they don't necessarily have to follow OSHA, right? I'm not saying they're unsafe or anything, but a lot of the times they don't necessarily follow all the rules when it comes to the citations and whatnot. But it's important for contractors to know that okay, you're working for the city, but you do fall under OSHA's jurisdiction, so you can get a citation, right? And it's important to let people know that exists, so that they don't get hit with $170,000 citation for not following the rules. And as you mentioned, we were talking before the podcast, so some of the things that apply to excavations, right? And OSHA in the construction standard, in the construction section, talks about having doing something about underground locating. They don't necessarily say call 811 within your program or things like that, but they do tell you that you have to do something to locate underground utilities, right? And OSHA in their standard 1926 dot 651B, they tell us that we have to do that and wait 24 hours. That's federal. The
Feral.
state can, yeah, that's state. The state comes in and then gives us the utility codes, right? We were having this conversation as well. In Texas, we have to wait 48 hours after the ticket is processed to begin excavating,
Yeah,
right?
same as us. Yeah, we don't.
Same
It
as you.
doesn't count the date of notification, holidays,
Right.
and weekends. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that we inform people when they're excavating it. And again, just like, well, you don't know what you don't know, right? If they're great at their job, they're professionals at what they do, but if they've never been exposed to the information, you don't know what you don't know. And it's important to share that information so that they do know, right? But
Exactly.
so that they do know. One of the biggest things that I've taken, and I heard this from a training that I was doing. Um, I attended a seminar as far as leadership and things like that. And one of the things they said which really was a big impact for me whenever we're doing training that I use is I start off by saying or asking people, have you ever seen those commercials, the don't drink and drive? Right? And
Yeah.
most of the people raise their hand. They're like, yeah, yeah. And I tell them, well, this training is the same as that, right? The message is don't drink and drive. That's one part. The second part of that is you doing, following that information that was given to you, right? And today's training is just the same. I'm going to give you information and you can take it and use that information, apply it so that you can save your life. You can save your pocket because if you hit utilities,
Yeah.
it can cost you, right? Or you could just take it as a random message that was given to you. So
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest challenges, right? Like trying to like make that message almost like a statement, like, hey, like it's mandatory, like you have to follow the law, but eh, you can't force anybody to do anything, right? I mean, we just
absolutely,
we're just here to kind of guide people in a way, and hey, show them all the resources that we have.
yeah,
But it's up to the person to be smart enough and to be responsible enough. That's the actual word. To be responsible enough to follow that protocol because they just don't see like the consequences from not doing it
absolutely.
until
And,
it happens.
and I think that's the important part, right? Where we're in a way selling them on the benefit of following the
I'm
rule,
following along, yeah.
right? Because there's things that we can't control once it's already happened, right?
Yeah.
The consequence, if you hit a fiber optic line for Google and it's feeding a data center, I mean, Google's gonna come after you,
Yeah.
AT&T is gonna come after you, right? Because of their product loss,
Yeah.
right? You hit a power line that shuts down a hospital. You hit down, right? Or you cut a fiber line that shuts down a Super Bowl game or
Oh
something
yeah, or
like
yeah, or a main street or something like
yeah.
that.
The World Cup is coming up, right?
Yeah, no, it's really interesting understanding how the whole process of everyone works because sorry, everybody has to be in the same page,
Absolutely.
right? Like locators, us, and the excavators. We have to find that middle ground when everybody can communicate at the right time. I was just having my a previous episode with a locator, right? And the perfect role would be if you don't know anything, if you don't understand something, call us. We will
Right.
help you. If you're not gonna be at the work site, or if you're not, um, if there's something that you don't understand, please let us know so we can come and locate for you so you can dig safely, right? Same, if they don't know something, call us at 811 and we can find the middle ground so we can connect you guys again.
Yeah.
Again, it's just it kind of gets lost, and to me, it's because people want to rush the majority of the time. They want to get the job done,
Yeah.
and I guess it's just that's something that's going to have to change eventually. Like
Well,
because projects have timelines, right? And
yeah,
they want
and
to
we
get
have
it.
to understand that there has to be production, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there has to be production because something that I always say is they don't pay us for our looks.
Yes,
We
exactly.
we have to produce, right? So I understand that there is a timeline, there is a a schedule that we have to follow. But if you don't plan ahead, if you don't do what you need to do, right, it's going to cost you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to cost you, and you're right. A big part of it of our jobs, I feel, Lewis, is the relationships that we can build, right, and create the environment for other people to create those relationships. Because a lot of time you get, like, say, you get an excavator, they're frustrated with the locators.
Yes.
You get the owner, the stakeholder, they're frustrated with the excavators, right? But if we as DPMs or liaisons can create the environment for these people to come together and establish a relationship, understand each other, and yeah, if I'm the locator and I'm having to locate 4,000 tickets in a week, I'm going to inform you, hey, Louis, hey, work with me. Where are you going to be working
Exactly.
next? Right. And I think that's a big part of our, or what we do, or what is expected of us as liaisons, as damage prevention managers, to create the environment for those relationships to flourish and to be developed, right? Because we are liaisons, we're that connection, and I think that's I like that part of our job. Um, it's not easy. It's
No,
not
it's not
easy.
easy. It's not easy. People first, you want to the whole A11 and following the process is almost like you want to create a behavior that creates eventually a
Absolutely.
domino effect that everybody starts, fully
Yeah.
under that behavior and does the right thing. And we kind of have to be like, um, I'm gonna put it in a funny word, like a psychologist, right? You have to
Okay.
hear everybody out and kind of find those answers for them eventually to help them out and create that scenario like you said for them to work together.
Right.
And it is not always easy. People always, you have to respect and understand people's backgrounds and understandings sometimes. And um, I think it's just about reinforcing as much as you can and finding the ways to to teach every community and every group uh, the best way possible to kind of start creating that behavior and people to be considered with one another, right? It's
Yeah.
about that's something that I think is very important, being considered with people's time and work.
Absolutely.
I
Being
mean, because
empathetic. Yeah.
yeah, and you have to really understand that the other person on the other side is doing something for you as well.
Yeah.
So once that changes or starts changing, and I think it's going on the right track right now. It's gonna get easier, but again, we're here and we're trying to do our best to kind of always find that message, the best way for people to understand.
Yeah, and it's very important to be present, you know,
Yes.
us as liaisons to be present, to be out and meeting these people and inviting them, and I mean we set the tone because a lot of times we're working with different personalities, different
Yeah, exactly.
attitudes, right? And we kind of have to set the tone and say, come on, be part of this,
Yeah.
right? And the saying, "You build it, they will come,"
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
And
exactly.
and just to make it exciting to be part of that organization, that's something that I really enjoy to be part of that change. Um, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Exactly.
If it was easy, if it was already done, we wouldn't have our jobs, our positions wouldn't be required
Yeah, no,
because
no,
everybody
that
would be doing it.
makes completely
So
sense.
yeah, so in a way, yeah, that's why I have a job.
Exactly, exactly.
So I'm in love with the process. I love being with people. I don't love everybody, but I
Well,
love being with people.
like they say in my country, you can't be gold coin for everybody.
There you go. Monedita de oro.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah. So now going back to A11, but in Texas, right? And the job that you do, tell us a little because Texas is massive. It's huge. It's almost like the size of a country in South America, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys keep that outreach going as efficient as it can be? Like, how do you guys reach those little towns? Or I mean, if I'm understanding correctly, there's more than one office in Texas of
So
everyone.
there's five, there's only
Oh,
one office in
one main one.
one main office,
Okay.
and there's five damage prevention managers, and
Okay.
we're
In the
divided by
whole state?
yeah, in the whole state.
Oh wow.
So I'm not sure how many counties are in the state of Texas. I've
Don't
I,
ask me.
I think I've heard it's like 216 or something like that.
Okay.
Something around that. And I manage 51 counties.
Do you manage like one region of the state, like like
Yes.
the east of the state
So
or the west?
no, I do south. I do
South?
the
Okay.
south part.
So
So
you go
I
all the
go
way
from
to almost close to El Paso? And
no, not to El
no.
Paso. So
What's it?
from
McAllister? No,
South of
McAllen. Sorry,
Houston,
Is it McAllen?
McAllen. Yeah, McAllen,
Okay.
yes. Yeah. So south of Houston is a little county called Wharton. Oregon County is about an hour south of Houston, and then from there I kind of do a diagonal line to San Marcos to Guadalupe County,
Okay.
and I cover that. And then from Guadalupe County, I go all the way down to Del Rio,
Okay.
and that's basically, so if you can picture the map of Texas, right? You have the little handle top,
Yeah.
then it kind of opens up, and then it kind of dips down.
Hmm.
That the bottom cone is my region.
Okay. So that's just you going down in those
Yeah,
towns and just kind of do.
and and it's been a learning curve to see how I'm gonna reach those little towns, right? So we have a pretty robust database that has contacts of
Yeah.
thousands of people, right? And what I try to do is dedicate a week per region, dedicate a week per region, from reaching out to contacts from our database. And we also have our 811 program. We have a something called reporting hub where we're able to pull reports for damages for line strikes. Right? Well, they're one and the same. The dig up tickets that we call. Do you guys call it the same? Whenever
Which
somebody
one?
hits something, they have 2 hours to call. Sorry, 1 hour to call and report a dig up
We
when
have
somebody hits a line.
you're putting me here on the spotlight.
Sorry.
We have the damage prevention. We have the damage report notice, right?
Okay. So
And
it
I
might be the
don't.
same.
Yeah, I
Yep.
don't. And I can be wrong, and I don't want to say it, but I think you do have to report it
Within a
almost like
certain
right.
time frame.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's 2 hours. I will have to look. I don't. In fact,
Okay.
I can recall on my presentation saying in a specific time, like, hey, you have to report the damage within 2 hours of after occurring. I do know that with emergencies, you can start working on them right away, but you do have to notify them,
Right.
within,
Yeah. So in the state of Texas, we have something called dig up. So when somebody hits something, even though they had a normal ticket, just to report that it was dug up, right? Sometimes you have uh, something that wasn't marked within the area that you're digging or whatnot, and you expose it, right? You expose it to the atmosphere.
but not
Then
not not necessarily creating a damage. Just
no,
you
no,
expose it.
no. You
Okay.
just expose it. You digging it up. You call in a dig up, and I pull a report for the specific count. I don't go by counties, but I go by region. Um, I have 5 regions. Sorry, 5 chapters. We call them chapters, not regions, because the region is South region. But
Mm.
we go by chapters, and each chapter has a different amount of counties, right? Some has 5, some have 7, some have 11, some have so all total the 5 chapters that I cover in my region is 51 counties, and
Wow.
I kind of align it to where I'm reaching out to each of those regions on a every 3 week basis, kind of rotation, because it is a large area.
Yeah, yeah,
It
I
is
can
a large
imagine.
area. Yeah, from one side to the other is 5 hours of difference um, of the region that I cover.
So you have
Uh,
to do even a bigger planning, right, when it comes to
a-
visiting these towns.
Absolutely, yeah. I try to plan ahead a month and say I'm going to be here this coming month. Would you like to participate in the training? So
Because of the, I mean, your traveling distance is way more far than hours from what I can understand. So how long is your trips? Like more than an hour to when you go
oh
south?
no, when it's 5 hours.
Oh, 5 hours at least.
Yeah,
Wow, that,
the
yeah,
the, the furthest distance is 5 hours.
5 hours. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
and
quite a bit.
I love the drive. I love driving, and so I enjoy that part. But it's very important to plan ahead. And I've had the times where w- I we book something and then it's already scheduled, and one person shows up,
Ooh.
right?
That's hard.
And I mean
But you know
it's
what?
part it's
And
part of
I
it.
think it was a guy, Jeremiah. I think from, was it Arizona?
USIC.
No, I think he was at the NFCA. He said Even if you're teaching one person about the A11 process,
Yeah,
that means a ton.
absolutely. And that person can make a difference, you know. And I, this is silly, but I take it as if I'm an artist, you know. Like the people that are artists, they do concerts and they do the same songs.
Yeah.
They do the same songs. I mean, we're both Hispanic.
Yeah.
There's artists in Mexico that have sung the same songs for like freaking 50 years. A specific group, Los Temerarios. They have
Mhm.
like 7 songs that they've
That's all
sung
they
for
say.
the longest, and they do the best that they can at every concert, right? And it's the same songs. And I feel that my presentation, I am the same way. I'm going to give you the best show that I can while I have you for an hour, right? Even though it's one person or it's 200, 400, I'm going to give the best show that I can so you can take the most of it.
And I'm one of those big believers that once you connect with that person, let's say with you, Ruben, that person is gonna pass that message. It's like
Absolutely.
word by mouth, right? I
Yeah.
think that's how way it works the majority of the time. It's like, hey, you know what? I took this training, this workshop with this guy, and I learned a lot. I think we have to start doing this. And I
And
think
yeah,
yeah,
it's so impactful when, like, say, that individual has influence over other people, right? That I would have never met. And that's passing on the baton, passing on the
passing the
message.
torch.
Yeah, absolutely, passing on that torch so that he or she can give that message to those that he or she has influence over. Um, and that message is a lot deeper. He's the supervisor of a new employee, or she's the supervisor of a new employee. That's going to be more impactful than me saying, Ruben from Texas811, hey, make sure you call before you dig. It's like, okay, whatever, guy. Right. So I feel that you're very right. It's about building those relationships and connecting to those that you are providing the training for.
What are the challenges? Obviously, Texas, and I'm gonna kind of switch it up a little bit with in terms of language barrier, right? Texas is obviously, I don't know, has a big population of Hispanics, right?
Absolutely.
People that speak Spanish because of the southern border.
Yeah.
People that have been living in Texas for years now. You see, I would say at one point it's 50-50, right? Every time I go to Texas, everyone speaks Spanish. I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
English that much. From your experience, because I'm experiencing that a little bit right now, but obviously people in Texas are more comfortable of, the day to day and just, speaking Spanish, right? On like on the everyday. Everybody,
Yeah.
it's like almost like Miami. You don't have to worry about English. Is that a challenge for you as a damage prevention representative to kind of split that message of the A11 with English and Spanish? Do you having difficulties of getting to that community, or the community is very welcoming with, okay, you know what, I want to learn about the law?
That's a great question, man, because once they do attend, we connect because I do speak Spanish, I do speak fluent, and I mean, just like in the United States, you have accents from all over the place, and
Yeah, yeah.
right,
I have an accent.
you have somebody from Boston that talks to somebody from Louisiana.
Yeah.
It's like two complete different countries.
Y'all.
Yeah, and so once they attend the training, I can connect because I'm fluent and I speak the language. I speak the people, right?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you will. Um, but it is hard to get them to be part of it. It is hard to get them out to attend these trainings. Um, and it's something that I'm trying to focus on for 2026. Part of kind of like my campaign to try to reach those lower tier contractors, right?
Yes.
Because municipalities are great at showing up at our events, right? Because the city's sending them. Larger contractors are not excited, but they're open to having the trainings because the people that they're working for have them come to our trainings, right? but it's those like mom and pop people that do the fencing, small contractors that do plumbing, that do irrigation, that do tree cutting and stump grinding, right? The people that do the digging for the pools, the plumber for the pools, um, all those smaller contractors. I mean, who's talking to them?
Yeah,
Who's reaching out to them, right? And in Texas, you're right, the majority, a large part of the workforce is Spanish speaking.
Hispanic.
Yeah, it's Hispanic. And so that's one of my focuses in 2026 is to reach those level of excavators, because they are a big part of the damages. They are a big part of the damage prevention effort that we must put out so that we can lower those damages.
We had our first Spanish safety day back in October, and we had 20 people. I feel like it was really good in
Yeah.
terms of. I mean, obviously, I would have loved more people, but it was very interactive. We had a lot of people, asking questions. We had a locator with us as well, and they were trying to understanding better how they do their job so they can, prevent hitting a line. And I think the Hispanic community, as I am as Hispanic as well, is about um, preparing your message for them. Like what I mean by that is like when we go, like for example, how and this is kind of going a little off topic, how they market movies outside of the U.S.
Mhm.
Right? Like for example, when a blockbuster movie like I don't know the Avengers, for right, they China takes that movie for the movie theaters, but they have to market it for their audience, right? Same, it kind of applies to us, right? With A11 message, it's like we have to find that right way, that key message for the Hispanic community to consume and understand it and digest it, right? And it's just not throwing what we did in English to throw it to them in Spanish, like just this is it. No, we have to find. That's what I'm kind of like under. That's my view of things, right? The way I'm seeing the big picture, like how can I make the A11 process available, helpful, and easy to like have access, right? For this community that is there, they're interested, but it's always like something like blocking them from reaching to like in this case to us, right? So I'm actually trying to implement like meeting them on site, like hey, I'll come to you. Like if I did that like almost a month ago, I went and gave a quick 5 steps of safe digging to 5 workers that work at a
Right.
pool company. So I think that's like the thing that I'm trying to make sure that we do it that way. Is like let's try to like prepare everything how the Hispanic will consume it. Just like, almost marketing one-on-one. Like
Right.
we have to, put everything for them to be easy and for them to like come and get it.
I got you. Yeah. There's a liaison in Louisiana. It's a great friend of mine, Raymond Saunier. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh, I think yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
Raymond Saunier he's a fantastic human being, and he does that. I mean, he goes out to the job sites. He does the training in somebody's garage in the afternoon in their living room, um, in their 3x3 trailer, right? Just everybody like sardines, just standing and him giving the message. And I mean that he's an individual that I strive to be like. He has a passion for damage prevention, and he reaches those type of contractors. Maybe not in Spanish, but I mean he's from Louisiana, and he speaks the language, if you
The
will,
land, yeah.
right? He speaks he speaks their language, and he's taken. I feel like he's taking that approach. What you're saying, going out to them so that they're not coming out to the meetings, is taking out the excuses.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's a big advocate of that, and um, he's a fantastic human being.
And to kind of wrap up a little bit, tell us about it and something that you mentioned. You focus a lot on the safe part when it comes to trenching, right? And you say you do you have OSHA in some of your presentations? That do you have a representative from OSHA in some of them, or?
Whenever we have like the DPC meetings, we'll invite OSHA um, so they can come and talk. In the San Antonio area, we have a great individual. His name's Victor that comes in and talks in our meetings and stuff like that. In Corpus Christi, down in the valley, we don't have that much presence because the local office for the valley is Corpus Christi. So they don't really have the manpower to be going out there and stuff like that. But we try to get OSHA out to our meetings so they can so that people can understand that it's not the big bad wolf, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think people have an idea when it's like government or
Yeah,
an office from the government, they or an agency from the government. They
like
kind
an
of
enforcement agency. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Here comes the bad guy. No, he's a person. He's a human, just like you and I, right? Just to humanize that part, right? To simplify it. And yeah, they do come and tell us, hey, there's been this many fatalities in excavations. When it comes to excavations, there's actually a drop within the last 18 months compared to previous years. Um, and I did a little research as far as to what is that attribute or attributed to, or what is the cost of that. And one of the things that I was reading from a area director, they state that because of outreach, because of training, because of OSHA calls it uh, and like enforcement programs where they're really out looking for excavations and things like that, right? Um, and they've reduced the citations, and I think in a way that's the same approach that we take to damage prevention, being present, being out there, um, making sure that we're out, shaking hands and kissing babies, you know.
yeah. No, I agree. Ruben, what is before couple seconds before we finish? What is your big goal for starting that 2026 in terms of achieving, obviously your numbers in educating people, but what are you, what is something that you're working on that you really want to like do different in terms
Absolutely.
of
That's
reach?
that's that's a great question. Like I said, I have three main goals for 2026. Number one is reaching our training numbers, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, and and as long as we're consistent, it's not a problem. As long and the amount of people that are out there are the numbers are there, so that won't be a problem. The second thing that I really want to make sure that I accomplish is reaching out to those smaller contractors, reaching out to contractors because in a lot of our events we don't see contractors. We just see municipalities and like the safety manager and things like that. We don't see contractors. So that's the second thing that I'm going to be focused on in 2026. And number three is establishing those associations in the different sections in my five different chapters to ensure that I create an environment for people to come in and I mean, starting fresh is good because if you had one and the next one you have two, you're doubling your
You're
numbers, right?
doubling, yes, yes.
So
That's
I'm
good.
hopeful and hopefully we get a chance to talk a year later and I'll tell you, hey, we have 300 members at each of our chapters, you know.
Hey,
But
I don't
but
blame you. Hey,
if
I
it's
just start.
10,
Hey, I right there with you. I started in April, and I kind of started in the middle of things. We had our expo, and I started right after, and then within 3 or 4 weeks, I was doing my first Spanish safety day. So I was just I was thrown into the water pretty quick,
yeah,
right? So I'm rolling now, starting 2026. I'm gonna start from zero and kind of like see the full thing now under my, obviously my manager and me and my new team member, be able to have hands on and kind of be able to do more, stuff from my view, right? And kind of implement the idea that I have for the department. But my main goal is first just, keep reaching out to just like you, those communities that are here in the state. And obviously, my challenge is to keep reaching out to the Hispanic community. That's one of
yeah.
the reasons I'm here, and I really, really, really want to get that number from 20 to 40 and obviously 100.
Yeah,
So
look forward to it, brother.
yeah, so we'll definitely get back to with each other again next year to see how we're doing.
Yeah.
But that sounds great. Are you gonna be in the next NPCA meeting? Oh no, conference. I think it's in
The
Nashville.
CGA?
No, I'll be in the CGA. Will you be in the CGA?
No, I'm not. I'm not part of CGA this year.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'm gonna go to the CGA in April, and in fact,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna be able to meet with a lingual task team.
Okay.
So kind of understand the things that they do and how they do things. And I think the next FNCA, I think it's in no, Austin, sorry, in
Oh, okay.
March. So I might see you there
Yeah, I
since
might
it's
see you there.
close. So, but I don't know. Are you in December gonna go to that place? Because I'm about to jump into the screen.
um, we're wanting to go. It's a real pretty, and it's a beach that's not as popular,
Really?
so it's not.
Looks very calm, just not very a lot of
Yeah,
people. Those are
yeah.
the best, actually.
It's San Carlos, Sonora,
Hmm. Sonora?
and
Okay.
yeah, it's close to Guaymas by Obregón.
Is that just is that on that's north? No, that would be
It's on the Pacific side.
the Pacific side.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Now I not planning to go to Mexico soon, but I'll definitely probably on my calendar for next year to visit my brother. I mean, I definitely I do need some vacation. So,
Well, for Christmas, my wife wants to go to Mexico City.
oh, she wants to. Nice.
Yeah, we've never been there, so.
Mexico City is nice. I've been there. I went there in 2013 for like a day and a half. I
Okay.
went to the what's it called? What the big flag is?
Oh, it's
The
Zócalo.
Zócalo.
Yeah.
But that year there was I think there was a hurricane or something that
Oh,
passed
okay.
by, and then they were doing like um, a citizenship. They had it closed to I think there was an agency that was gathering food and
Oh, okay.
supplies for those people that were affected. So it was so
I
I
got you.
couldn't actually like go in and be in the middle of it. But no, Mexico City is almost it looks like Caracas. Same weather, mountains around it. So
Well, I've only
uh,
stopped in the airplane, but I
okay.
mean, it's
Yeah, it's overcrowded.
so many people.
So if
Yeah,
you take the subway, you're ready to get moved.
yeah, to be tramped up.
But Ruben, thank you again for coming into this episode. Kind of give us your perspective, your experience on how you're doing things, on what you've seen so far. Being a new member of the Texas 811, I appreciate really the time, and hopefully we can connect again and kind of, you know, share our 2026 year's experience.
Absolutely, brother. Again, thank you for the opportunity, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one for sure. Again, for our listeners, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you. Or hopefully you guys can tune in into our next episode soon. Stay safe, and until next time.